Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Late Night Craft Talk. Timer is counting down, starting now, 3 seconds ago.
Yeah. So, hey, everyone. I know we told you that we were going to talk about unicorns. It's kind of an interesting story. But we realized just in a couple days, it's the last day to actually sign up for the drum class at our store. James is going to be teaching the class, and James is teaching the class, and it's going to be a really neat way to learn traditional ways of making elk rawhide drums. So,
In James's language, hand boom booms.
yes. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, I mean, this is definitely the time if we do it once a year. We already have signups, and the deadline, ultimate deadline to sign up is, I will say it again during the class, but I mean, during the show. But the ultimate deadline to sign up is January 15th. So that's Sunday. This class is on, the show is on Friday. You have 2 days to sign up. It's $152.50. We'll talk about it more, but you can sign up on our website and we'll show you how to sign up. But it's definitely a really cool class. We do it one time a year. You get a chance to see James and I in the same area, and we have a lot of fun and learn a lot of really interesting stuff.
Yeah. And we've only got 30 spots left in the class, so you want to sign up quickly. Am I wrong math on that one?
Yeah, no, I think 50.
50? 50 hand drums and one instructor because he's cray. Now we've got probably about 6 or 10 spots left.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's a good size class. It's not too big, and it's a nice class because it's really, you get a chance to learn how to do it.
Not only do you get to see Savea and I in one place live, you get to see our moms too.
Yeah, this is true.
Yep, my mom will be there. She usually teaches how to make the drumstick.
Yeah.
Well, I stand there and go, let's see. If I'm teaching a class, can I be Professor James?
You're like, you may address me as Professor James.
Oh, did I tell you that story from a few days ago?
Oh my gosh, you could be Professor J, like the X-Men, like Professor X. You could be Professor J.
And instead of reading minds, I can read. Well, I don't know. My mutant superpower is going to be drums, anyways.
You can no. You're not going to be Professor J. You're going to be Professor JH.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
It's just not as cool as Xavier. I mean, if I would have a superpower on that one, like Xavier, you can read minds, control minds. Could I be like the Sphinx or the Blue Sphinx in the Mystery Men, where he can hurl fork? Oh, no, wait. What was his power? He can like break guns, but I'm trying to remember, what was that guy's name? The Blue Raja. Blue Raja that could hurl forks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll have to do a show dedicated to just Mystery Men. I love that show. It was like the first of the like satire of superheroes.
I don't understand how we get pincher bugs in our house. It's just the weirdest thing. Mochi goes after them and they pinch him.
Okay, that's good conversation during the show. Let's Savea's got a bug problem. Well, I have a drum problem. Ba-da-bam. All right, folks. Now, we talk about professors. There's actually kind of a fun background story to that. As I'm registering for classes, because I'm going to the medical field, I email the instructor with a question about something, and she comes, I'm not sure how to address them. I haven't been in the world of academia in, ever, really. And I'm going over there, and I say, Miss da-da-da, and she comes back with this email reply. You may refer to me as instructor or lead instructor of the EMS Academy da-da-da, or professor da-da-da. And I'm going, well, I have to call you professor, and you got to call me El Presidente Admiral General. But I didn't say it. But wow, that's the world of academia. They like their positions. You got to call them by that. But when you're in their house, it's what you do. So getting used to that. I'm used to a certain large amount of informalness to this stuff. But wow, you ever have experience like that?
Actually, I never really had instructors that were like that, because
Well-
I never had an instructor say to me, "You need to call me Professor blah blah blah." There was only one instructor that I remember. He was so awesome. I don't remember his name though. It's been just way too many years. But he actually, one of our assignments was that he made us sign a piece of paper, and he judged our signature to see if it was executive material or not.
Okay, I wonder if there's like a class in med school just to teach doctors how to sign, say, the typical doctor signature.
And
Well,
then
in this case,
the other
DME
thing he said was that he said the best. Okay, now I'm not getting political, but this is what he said: the best marketer, like the best person that's the best marketer, they could sell, they could sell whatever, is the president of the United States. I'm sorry. If you think about it, I'm not trying to say anything political. I'm saying they have to work all their ways to convince people to vote for them and whatever. I'm not talking about any of the candidates. I'm just talking about president in general, right? How far they have to work and how hard they have to work to get to that place. Anyway, that's what he had said. And I'm like, you know what? That kind of makes sense, because it's not easy to just like go, okay, by the way, I'm going to be the president of the United States of America.
That's what I do. Works for me.
Okay, James.
Yeah, well, when we get on, we're gonna have to get a piece of paper and have a signature contest for briefly.
Oh yeah.
You brought it up. All right. So,
But I don't know if I want my signature on public display.
True. Okay, bad idea. Well, if we make it like a parody thing, I'm the EMS academy we're going through apparently is run very strict, very similar in fashion to a certain fair amount of ways to, like, say, basic training in the military.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have us say sir and stand attention. I'm like, I want CMT so I can go work on some other stuff. I'm not running around in an ambulance and what I like to call the woo woo.
They're like the ambulance fire drill. Everyone stop, get out, run around the truck a couple times and get back in and go.
Some do that
with the sirens on.
I've seen other EMT classes. I've helped with them over the many, many, many years. And I'm like, I have not seen this, but everyone's a little bit different. I like ones that are a little bit more, formal, relaxed. This one's not, but it's the local college. So that'll be a new experience. I'll have some stories coming from that are appropriate to share.
Yes.
When the show starts in a couple minutes, I've got some stuff to share from the EMS uniform I have to wear. It was quite odd. But anyway, that'll make a fun story. We've only got 2 minutes left, Savea.
I know.
I know.
So the other thing about this week is that we aren't live.
You gave it away.
If you don't see us responding to your awesome messages, we will definitely see the messages. We usually watch them during or after the show. We're celebrating Dan's birthday on Friday, so I don't know what time we're going to be home. And then also, James, where are you going to be?
On the river.
Down by the river, on the river.
I'm not in the van down by the river. I'll be in my boat on the river. I'm doing a river trip. I'm hosting it for former guest and friend of the show, Helen Howard. And she asked me to run the trip for her because she's not able to make it. It's an annual trip down about almost 40 miles of river above Yuma, Arizona, through Imperial Wildlife Refuge. I was through there and I showed pictures. Thanksgiving week, I was through that same area. Awesome trip, hosting about 10 people. And I'm leaving 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock Friday morning to go do this. But we'll talk more about it because we got a countdown in, oh, Lordy, just less than a minute. So we'll go ahead and go down the list.
If you haven't
Maya,
had
you better be here.
Please share our our video on your Facebook page. It just helps share the information. And we have a really interesting show tonight about drums. So
yep, we're gonna be talking about paddle drums, hand drums, the etiquette of it. A lot of you have been asking for this. Here it is. Savea, do you remember how to count down from 10?
No, I don't. Please
well,
explain.
We're going to have to practice. We'll follow the clock, starting with 10.
9.
8.
7.
6.
5.
4,
3,
2,
1.
showtime! It's time for Late Night Craft Talk with hosts Savea Kamori Yang and James Hermes. Let's get the fun started. It's time to start the show.
You know what's really funny? I'm sorry to call you on this, James. You're like doing this stuff before, and then all of a sudden, right before the video comes, you're like,
I'm getting into it. I'm getting into it to show energy and entertain our audience. Speaking of audience, what are you eating?
Chocolate.
I'm eating granola and trail mix.
It's
And they're not, I like them. All right. We got to do our viewer countdown. Our viewer check. Maya, you better be there. El Presidente of the Friday Nation Monster Squad.
You need to be there.
Huh?
Help lead the troops this week.
Yes, we cannot have Vivian taking over or Wendy. They're qualified, and they might just do a coup d'etat on you.
I know, right?
And relegate you to watching the show on Twitch.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
sorry, Kimiko.
So if you haven't started if this is the first time you watched our show, make sure to like and subscribe to our channels.
I will do that.
We do have Twitch channels so that if you are on Twitch, it actually will notify you for having a show, which is awesome. Additionally, you'll know, like you can watch these shows afterwards. We have like a whole backlog of shows. If you want to watch them, we have all kinds of topics. We haven't done a few things yet, but this is the new year. So we restarted our, series of things we need to do. Cause like, there's a lot of fun things we do each year. Like in the past years, we've done game shows, we've done cooking shows. We've had like guests, obviously. I mean, for the last couple ones, we haven't had guests, but we've had some pretty interesting things that we talk about. So make sure. Oh, I forgot. What's missing, James?
The banner. Savea, you had one job.
I know.
I'm running media. You're like, oh, James, where's the banner? I'm like, I've been running media.
James, what the heck? Why is it?
Hold on. What did you just do? What'd you just do?
I just
felt flung to the side, girl. Take that. Wait, take that.
Flip flop.
Beach to it. All right, there we go. One of these days I'll like bounce around this little square and everything. All right. With that, what is going on with Dancing Bear this week?
Oh, usually I was going to say what's going on with Elk Rack, James, but
Beach to it.
This weekend on January 15th, it is the last day to sign up for James' drum class, which is on January 21st at 8 a.m. at Dancing Bear Indian Trader. We do have some more spots available. We have to order in the drum kits. That's why we have the cutoff. If you find out about this class and you just desperately want to join and it's past the date, give us a call, see if we have an extra kit, because we might have an extra kit. But it is a lot of fun, and you learn how to make a drum. You learn about it. It's definitely a worthwhile class, and I wanted to show everyone how to sign up, okay? It's going to be really quick. Let me see. I'm going to show you how to go to my website and then
You're going to do a screen share?
Yeah.
Okay. While she's doing that, folks, if you don't sign up for the class, this is the look you'll get.
This is the Larry David one.
Well, we're giving two different impressions here, but it's going to be a stern look that implies a finger wag like this. And that's the look you will get. The one we usually reserve for Maya when she's late.
Okay.
All right. With that, so you ready yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Do share.
Okay. So you're going to go to the website, dancingbearindiantrader.com. It doesn't show it on here at the top of my tab, but the website is dancingbearindiantrader.com. Okay, now when you go to dancingbearindiantrader.com, click shop online or click our store online, visit our store online. Okay, click it. Then you're going to see here, it says, it's going to say classes and calendar. Okay. It doesn't have it on the first website, which I realize I probably should add this link there. But when you click classes and calendar and you go to classes, you're going to see the available classes we have at the store right now. See, this is the elk rawhide drum making class. It's $152.50. You click the red link. It's going to show you the information about the class. It says the class fee plus include class fee plus required elk drum kit. So it's going to include your class fee and your drum kit. Okay. And it's for a 15-inch drum. I don't know why it's doing that like weird thing. This is a picture of what we previous class, what we've done. Usually what we do is in our alley, we set up a few canopies and we have enough space so people can set up and have their own table space to make the drums. And it's pretty cool. I actually realized I have to fix this right here because that's not true.
How unprofessional. I don't know why I talk to you.
So I'm not going to show you that part anymore.
Okay.
But what you do is you click select date. Right now, it says we have 2 different classes, but sign up for the 8 a.m. class because right now we have everyone signed up for 8 a.m. So basically, you're going to want to set, you put your number of people, you're going to have 10 people, you put everyone's names, and then you're going to add to the cart, and then you're going to go from there. Okay. It's pretty easy. Let's see. So let's say it's going to be Professor JH. Oh, my caps are on. Dang it. Okay.
Professor
So
John.
you're going to go to proceed to checkout, and it's going to show you here the elk rawhide drum making class, January 21st, attendees, and then you go to checkout. Okay, it's so easy.
Or you can use PayPal.
You could. So,
Does this mean I've signed up for the class?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You get to make a drum from me. I get to learn from me.
Yeah. So basically, it's real easy to sign up. And if you're having any issues with signing up, you can always call us at the store. We're there from Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. We can sign you up online on the computer and then send you an invoice for payment. Okay. And then if you want to take the class and we have to have payments for the class before we sign you up, just because we've had people promise that they're going to come and they don't show up. And then we had literally 3 drums we had to make. And James, you remember what happened when I had to make all those drums because people didn't show up? What happens when you prepare a kit for the class? What happens?
We prepare the kit. What we do is we actually start the process of making the drums the night before. We put some sage and tobacco in some water, and then we put the rawhide in the water. And that is officially the start of the making the drum, the new birth, this new being, this new way. And we do that, and that officially means and we do that about 12 hours before the class. We let it soak, and then we put in the rawhide lace early in the morning. So that process is starting the drum. When you do that and you stroke the rawhide, you make it loosen and it starts breaking down. And that way it's soaked. And when we actually make the drum, you are stretching the rawhide over the hoop. And as it shrinks, it dries and gets tied around the drum hoop frame and creates cool boom boom sound. But the thing is you can only re-soak the rawhide so many times. If you re-soak it a second time, it breaks it down that much further.
Yes.
Thins it. and does not make near as effective a drum that makes a boom boom sound.
So that's
So
why
we have rawhide already soaking. Nobody shows up at the class. We got an extra one. We have to make that drum.
we have to make it. I ended up making it once, and my arms, we did 3 drums that day. My arms were in killer pain. Like, I went to several masseuses, and one masseuse told me, she's like, oh my gosh, your arm, it's like you have ropes in your arm. I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, she was really working on my arm. She spent out, it was murderously painful. But I can only do like 2.5, and I got help from James and his mom to help finish it.
It's different because I'll make a drum. I'll make 3 or 5 in a day with the hand drums. But I'm very quick at it. If you're not used to all that tugging, 1 drum, it's a good workout.
Yeah.
2 or 3, well, like doing Sevilla 3, that's a bit. That's a lot if you're not used to it. So you're a trooper. That was awesome. But that was several years ago too.
Yeah, it was. But that's why we say, like, when you sign up for the class, you have to, if you don't come, I mean, it's just like, we have to make that drum anyway. So, that's why we don't allow anyone to pay the day of. We take the money in advance because it's just, we can't. So anyway, hey, James, what's going on with Hellcrack Traders this week?
Oh, we got some news. Okay. I'm going to wrap this up, and it's going to be an interesting story with a cool ending. So I was doing a lot of work last week. I was filling orders because we had to fill orders for other vendors that were buying from me for Pachinko Powwow last weekend. I'm not doing Pachinko Powwow because of just the sensory overload that's still going on. So I was working a lot of hours, getting some feather fans made and whatnot. My folks went over and delivered it for me on Saturday morning to the powwow. But working that long, a lot of, we're talking, some days I was up 20 hours like Thursday. And when you get, you're up that long, you start having like really random thoughts. So, you're having random thoughts and just weird ideas. I suddenly thought, I want to make an eco-friendly water park, a waterless water park that's environmentally friendly and oil change place. And I actually invented, and I'm probably going to start it up, this wonderful place, Waterloo-less Water Park and Oil Change, 10 weight 40 eco-family fun. But that's the kind of random things you think up when, you've been up for 20 hours like it was last Thursday. But between doing the art market in Palm Springs that we're at every Thursday, getting the feather fans ready and a bunch of arrows ready for other vendors to deliver over there, it's burning the candle at both ends. So couldn't go to the powwow, obviously. So there was a banquet I had to go to over Riverside, Southern California. It's a little bit outside Los Angeles, 1.5-hour drive. I get over there and I'm like, where's my earplugs? Because remember, I have this noise sensitivity. And I'm like, where's the earplugs? Oh, that ain't good. And I'm already kind of feeling the sensory overload. It's been really great for like 5 or 6 weeks, but had a bad day. So I go into this room. It's got 100-something people. And I'm like, it's inside. Great. And I just lasted like 10 minutes. I went, got to go out. I got to leave. So I couldn't hang out there and ended up spending about probably 90% of the banquet in the parking lot out by my car going, I can't go in there. Went in there when I had to for whatever functions and awards, came out and went, great. But unfortunately, as much as I made fun of the situation, I had kind of a wake-up call that I have to make a hard decision on something. And we were supposed to be at the bird singing festival put on by the Agua Caliente Band of Coy Indians in Palm Springs High School on January 28th. Can't do it. It's just, I would not last. And so I contacted the organizers. They are very supportive, impressively supportive. It means a lot. And said, we will see you next year. And I went, thank you, because I just couldn't do it because I start EMS classes for EMT medic training the following Monday. If I were to do the bird singing festival, which, God, I dearly love it. I've been around bird singing since 1977. And I'm going to get frayed. It's going to activate the sensory overload. And then I got class starting Monday morning that is not an easy class. And it's just a no-go. It would risk me in the class on the first day. And it's As we talked the pre-show, it's tough. They run it kind of like a military boot camp, and
Yeah.
it's too much, and I just can't risk that, especially when I'm just starting school the first day. There's a lot of getting ready for it, so that's unfortunate. But rodeos and other shows, you normally see us at Spring, Lakeside Rodeo, Koopa Cultural Days in early May. We will be there, but you can still find us at Palm Springs Village Fest on Thursday nights. That said, so this class I'm going to, you're going to love this, Savea. So this class we're going to, that I signed up for, you have to wear this uniform, like BDU's shirt. It looks like fireman uniform. And it's got the patches and all that. And you have to wear these boots, these like they're called station boots. And God, they look like combat boots to me because I'm just a layman on this stuff. But I'm like, I'm used to wearing like Chacos, Bedrocks, and flat trail running Merrill trail runners. So I'm over there. I'm in the shop. I'm actually getting fitted for the uniform 2 days ago. Oh, excuse me. Today they were recording the show. It's actually Wednesday evening. I was over there Tuesday morning getting fitted. And I looked over and went, those are uniforms. It's okay for me to buy that because a lot of times you have to have like a letter, ID, and whatnot that says you can actually buy this cop uniform, this firefighter uniform, this training uniform, whatever. And so they said, yeah. And I went, okay. And I bought a bow tie. The awesome bow tie.
Okay, so what uniform does that bow tie belong to?
I have no idea, but I just bought it because it's a cool bow tie.
Okay.
Now, folks, I have actually worn this bow tie out, and I have been styling it. Now, I want to share this with you right quick, is that when I first bought this, I came back, and I went, I'm going to wear this bow tie. And this is a picture I posted on my Facebook of me wearing the bow tie. I look awesome with a bow tie, don't I?
Yeah. So
I'll take that as an enthusiastic yes.
all I have to say is this a tied bow tie? It's not an automatic bow tie?
No, it's got the little strap and everything on it.
No, but I'm saying the front, it's actually can be tied.
It's already pre-tied.
So it has those long, weird things hanging down.
I don't know. It's like a stewardess thing, but
Okay.
I decided, I last night I had a Boy Scout meeting because a lot of I'm involved with the BSA, and I had my Boy Scout Venture crew. We do a lot of high adventure, and I decided to wear the bow tie.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
wrong way. Shouldn't have showed that. I decided to wear the bow tie with my Scout uniform. I think it looks awesome. That bow tie made me the coolest person in the room, and I wasn't the only person in the room. If you're thinking that, I look awesome in my Scout uniform. Well,
okay.
Yeah, well, I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
All right, so
You
with
look like a stewardess, Boy Scout stewardess.
Well, there's merit badges for that too, I guess. So adventuring, we don't do merit badges. So I go with this bow tie, and today I had to go over and pick up the boots. These clodhoppers, nicking my green screen all over the place. Weird. Okay, these clodhoppers, they're thick, are like what the firemen and medics wear. I'm wearing these things going clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm like, God, these things are huge. They go way up on the foot, and I'm like, I have to actually like polish these things and present for inspection with that. But I'm like, how the hell do you wear these things? People walk around with these clodhoppers. These are steel-toed boots. And I'm like, you know what? If I got to wear these, and I tried them out today, I got to break them in. But I'm like, if I got to wear these, I need to make them look cool. So this afternoon, I took a picture. Let's take a look.
You put the bow tie with them?
I did better. This is me this afternoon. I'm wearing the boots with the bow tie. And you know what? The bow tie brings it all together and makes me look cool. I'm like grunge without the ripped jeans and the fancy shiny boots with a bow tie. Savea, why are you doing a facepalm? Audience, why are you doing a facepalm to me again? So that is the story with the boots. There will be more updates to come.
Okay.
But that said, because the show is formal tonight, I am going to put on the bow tie.
Okay.
Folks, tell me how awesome I look with the bow tie. Wendy, don't be a smart ass.
You know what? I was just wondering, are those two that are dropped down, are they supposed to be tucked into the other loops?
I have no idea. All I know is look, bow tie.
Because there's bow ties that are like a tied bow tie, and it's not like when they're they actually have let me draw this really quick because then I'll explain it.
Or you can draw it. All I know is that, folks, keep on complimenting
Have a
my
pen.
bow tie.
Mom.
This is formal. And those of you that said you should take a picture of you wearing the bow tie during kayaking, oh, you know it. Oh, yes. I will wear a life jacket, the splash top with a bow tie. Makes it formal. So while Savea is drawing right now and describing things, we should do a whole show on bow ties. What do you think, Savea?
Okay, so see how there's a triangle here
Yes.
and there's a triangle over there.
Yes.
Now, see how there's a line going over it?
Yes.
Now, imagine you put them flat, right? So you're going to have the triangle fold, triangle go in this direction, and you have a loop. And so it's basically like an S. So if you look at it, it's going to look like then I have a highlighter. It's going to look like this, right?
Yes.
But what happens is that one, I'm going to color this one in, and I'm going to color on the back. So see how I colored in this square right here?
Yes.
That's triangle that's over here. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then you can see behind it, behind that white, there's a little bit of a triangle.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? But when you have a hand-tied bow tie, it looks like that. So I'm wondering, those two pieces that are hanging down, if they should be in the loops. Do you see what I'm saying?
All I know is this is how you hook it up, and I went on there, and I make it look good. So that's as far as much as our simple mind could take.
I'm just asking, were all of them like that, the same?
Yes.
Okay.
These ones, there, I took it and I'm hooked it up just as it appeared in all its gloriousness of bow tie. I'm actually, it looks like something a stewardess would wear, and I've actually just like Googled a photo. I'm not seeing any bow ties like this, which means mine's unique and awesome.
That's why I was saying, I think that it either, like, I'll show you when you come here for the drum class. I'll show you what
Well, folks, remember, when you come to drum class, just because I'm wearing the bow tie, we won't be formal. You won't have to call me Professor Juror.
Professor JH.
Or Professor JH. Just call me James or El Presidente Admiral General of Make Benefit Great Nation of Taco Stand James. Just those two simple terms.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Drum time?
Yes, let's talk about the drums.
Okay. So we're making the drums, and we wanted to share a bit about, a lot of you have asked us to do this episode. Well, here it is. I'm a drum maker. I've been making drums, powwow drums and whatnot for 10, 13, 15 years. And it is one of the funnest things and things I really love sharing and talking about. I've been singing powwow since the 90s. I don't see me do it very often. It is very rare. I'll go to smaller powwows, some out of the area, and I'll bring some people, and we'll typically Northern drum, and we'll sing. Because typically I'm busy with my booth. And I'll come in, and like I said, it's rare when we'll do it, but I'll do it. But I've got a whole room at my house dedicated to drums. I'm a drummer. I'm a drum guy. And with that, there's a whole tradition of it. I've been singing on drums since 1996. And we're going to share about that. So I'm going to show you like the powwow drums, some of the history to it, the etiquette, the protocol, what you see at powwow, and then some hand drums and how those two differ. And we'll be covering this at the class. You'll see probably these drums at the class. So what I need to do is I actually need to sign on with my phone so I can take it into the living room of my house, and we will share this. So technical parts, as I do this part, Savea will entertain you with random jokes based on 1955 pop music. What?
Okay, he just dumped that on me. Okay,
Well, it
so
doesn't have to be 1955 pop music.
So you want me to tell jokes right now?
Or just do something to entertain the audience while I get it signed on with my phone.
Okay. All right.
As easy as it sounds, folks.
So let me think about something.
I'm about to message you, but it's only because I need to click that link to sign on.
Okay. Let's see. I literally feel like I was just like, oh, by the way.
What? When we're doing a countdown, you're all, oh, James, I gotta go powder my nose or something, or Princess Leia or something, handle the show. I'm like, all right. Yeah, now I'm throwing you into the bus.
But during like the air live airing when we're doing our show, you're like, by the way, I just need you to. I'm like, oh, shoot, okay.
What?
So guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but every Tuesday or Thursday at 3 p.m. I do a live for Dancing Bear Indian Trader, and we talk about all kinds of new things that are coming into our store. And one of the things that we're doing, we're actually, one of our suppliers had over 40 different magnets.
While you do that, I'm going to go sign in.
Okay.
Give me like 1 minute and then go ahead and like let me in to the studio.
Okay. They had over 40 really cool magnets, and we're going to show those when we get them in. It's probably going to be in the next couple weeks, but we were really excited because I could not believe how many cool magnets they had. I was really surprised. Let's see. Okay, let's see. And I'll show you pictures. I don't know, James, nod if you want me to add you to the screen the way you're walking around right now. Yes? Okay, I'm adding James to the stream.
Hello, folks.
Hey, James.
Welcome to James's living room.
Long time no talk, and I can't see your head. Okay, there we go.
I'm positioned the camera right correctly because this is kind of on the fly a little bit.
Okay.
So let me do. Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen too much. Did that happen again?
It only happened one time.
Hello?
It only happened one time.
So
we're good so far.
Okay, well, if it does, we'll have to adjust. So I'm lowering the tripod a little bit so we can get a broader angle here. So what I have stood up in here in my living room, I'll just go ahead and keep it about there. Okay, like I said, I'm messing with the tripod here a little bit, so it's a little adjusting. So, okay, let me bring it over. I love technical parts. Okay. And what did I do? Okay, hold on.
So what you're seeing in there's actually a drum in that bag.
Yeah. So what we have right here is one of my drums. I've actually got a couple right here. I've got this big boy right here that's in its case. And I've got this. This is my first power drum I ever made. And let me just bring this over a little bit. I've got tripods. I'm messing with a tripod I've been doing work with before too much. Wow. Okay. Odd. Okay. It's probably crooked, but anyway. So we have right here is this drum. It's got the drum stand, and I'm going to go ahead and tilt the stand so you can see me better. You got the drum stand where it's sitting, and it's typically covered up like that. The drum's always covered. And say that we're at a pallet, we're set up. The drum would be not always just sitting horizontally in its stand. We're sitting on its bottom in its stand. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you. This drum's called the Beast. It's got a story to it. I made this drum back about 2008, 2009. This is my first pallet drum I've ever made. And it's called the Beast for a reason. When I was making it, we were getting ready for a formal occasion up in Ottawa to do first song on it. His first appearance, and I had to make it. And it's about a 36-inch across, double-sided rawhide drum. When I see the little thing, I knew I had to wait. So when I made it, it was the last week of July in India. It was averaging 118 degrees that day. I got up at 5 in the morning after soaking this rawhide for 2 days. And I started wrapping it and putting it together. And by 9 o'clock in the morning, it's already pushing 105 out. And as we described earlier, as rawhide dries, it shrinks into shape and was drying too quickly. And I was having to take a spray bottle and spritz it to keep it wet so I can still lace it. And as I'm doing that thing, I'm having to pull like heck. My arms are tired. And I went, I'd already been at it like 3.5 hours. And this thing's a beast. Yeah, what happened?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. And I went, this thing's a beast, and the name stuck. And this is got a heck of a story to it. And when I tell the story, that'll put a good connotation of how revered the drum is. And let me bring them out. The drum's actually facing east right now with the heads, but this is the beast. And it's got a very deep sound. I don't know if that's coming over through on the mic right now.
A little bit.
And it's causing my dog to bark in the other room. So I have to walk. It's like 11 o'clock right now.
I know. We're actually filming this late night on Wednesday night. So you guys are experiencing this late at night.
Red, chill out. Okay, so it's causing the dog bark, so I got to be careful with this. But this is the beast. It's got a deer kind of on there. But when you sing on a drum, typically first song, when you first break that drum, the first song is typically dedicated toward a person to honor them who's maybe got a sickness, who's got a troubled spirit. And one of the kids was singing with us because they're youth drum. His cousin had ALS, which is a severe form of childhood leukemia. And so we sang first song on that drum, dedicated to her. And somebody's in my kitchen right now, probably my dad. But when we did that, she lived in Seattle, and she was very, curious, like, what is this? What is? She's not native, but with the kid, I love my Wi-Fi connection.
It just paused for a second. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause when I see it do that. I'll pause. But anyway, so we sang the drum. She was really curious what we're doing, and what is this group about? What's this tradition? Obviously, she's not native, but her cousin is. And one of the kids, when we were commenting, we were doing a practice, goes, "Wouldn't it be neat if we could meet this girl?" And that would be pretty cool, but that's never going to happen. Well, like a week later, I find out we're in Southern California. She's going for Make-A-Wish Foundation to Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, oh, that usually is a thing that's a sign it's meant to happen. So we got asked by the family because she's really curious about it. So this is some months later, after we did the first song, probably 6 months later, that could we perform for her? And she is sitting out, she is in Disneyland Hotel. So we go through Make-A-Wish, we talk to the manager, we set up outside Disneyland Hotel. And her whole family's there, of course. They're doing a couple of days at Disneyland. And mind you, she had just gotten off her third round of chemo. So you figure she's going to be kind of weak. And when the kids are set up, we're set outside the drum, we're set up outside. And the kids are getting ready to perform for her. They're like this legend. They've heard of her. We've done this thing. It's this amazing thing. And I got some pictures from her grandma. She showed me her pictures briefly at Disneyland. And you figure kind of weak. No, she's like this. And she just can't move. And so I'm like, oh, and so I got to tell the kids, hey, this is not what you would think. This is not going to be somebody moving slow and talking slowly because they're tired from chemo. They're going to look like a zombie. And so they came in and they wheeled her out, and there she is. We're seeing her for the first time. And she's just in the chair. And one of the kids comes up and introduces and says, who we are, can we perform for you? And she just goes, just the slightest little nod. And her family's going, oh, she responded. And so the kids are nervous, and they just like, what do we do? And I looked down and went, sing. So they go in, they sing a drum song for her. The first song that they sing on the drum, dedicated to her, they sing that song again. And when they were singing, I'm going to get a little bit left, but when they're singing, the family's going, oh my God. Oh my God. There's like, her grandma's ecstatic. And I'm going, what's going on? Everybody's getting excited. They're like, look at her. she's ecstatic. And all I see is, and I'm like, you can tell? And they're amazed at her reaction. And I can't tell a difference. So the kids get done and they're like quiet going, what do we do now? And I just walked up to one of them. I said, invite her to sit on the drum. Now, mind you, I'm going to address this later because some of you that do Northern drums or Powell drums are going to be like, what? I'm going to explain that later. So she sits at the guy goes over and says, would you like to sit on the drum with us? She just goes, and they're like, over. And so her grandmother wheels her over in her wheelchair to the drum. And everybody's going, oh my God, there's all like a dry eye in the house. And I'm looking at it going, wonder how this is going to go. They hand her a drumstick. She slowly takes it and she sings with them. You know what she did? Bitching. All of a sudden, there's life in her and she's drumming. And she doesn't know the song, but she's drumming with the kids. And they sang, they did well. And we're talking like 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. And they get done, they hand it to her, and they said they thanked her, and they let her sign the drum, which is right over here. She passed away 4 months later. But the family was ecstatic. And when she sat down on that drum, it is to this day one of the most amazing things I've ever seen because she came alive. And then she went back to resting in the wheelchair. But you know what? I think she get better beat than those kids I've been working with for 2 years at the time, too. And her name is Ashley Avon. And we signed it on there. And she is the only female that's ever sat on this drum and the only one that ever will. And that song that we sang that day when she passed away, we had the kids get together that night. We found her. She passed away. They live like some of us live an hour and a half away. We met in a central place that night. Drop what we're doing. Met that night. Sang that song on for her that night and then put the beast to rest and put it silent for a while until we could bring it back and sing another song on it. But that one song we sang, that first song, and then she sang with us, and then we sang that night in memorial to her. We will never sing on this drum again. And anybody I teach to sing on this drum with the group, we teach them that song, and we tell them why it will never be sung on the beast. And that goes and show that story that how the drum is about healing, a heartbeat. It's about life. It's a celebration of life. And that story is such a fantastic example of that tradition, just the power the drum has. Mm-hmm. And when you put it with the circle, the arena, be a power arena, the drums is said to be that heartbeat. And when the dancers go around in the circle, it's said to be the body moving. And the song comes, that song is like the soul. And between the dancers going and the song singing, that soul and the heartbeat of the drum is a celebration of life. It's a life way. And those are the three things coming together, but none of that can happen without the heartbeat of the drum. You can't have a powwow without the drum. Mm-hmm. And that's the very much significance to it.
And the thing I was going to say, James, is that when you hear a drum or when you hear any kind of instrument in person versus hearing it recorded, it's totally a different thing. Like when I hear people play a piano, I get chills. When I hear people playing a drum and I'm like actually like listening to them and just soaking in the music, I get chills every time. So it's being around a real instrument that's, basically being played for you at that moment. It's amazing to be around.
Yeah. Let me show a little bit about how this goes. So typically at a powwow, if the drummers aren't around the drum and say it's not being used at the time or before the powwow starts or there's a special going on, if there's nobody sitting around the drum, there's always somebody sitting around the drum. And if it's not being used, typically it's going to be put up like this and then covered with a blanket facing east typically, because that's the rising sun. If it's just left alone, like the drummers decide to go off and just go get a drink or whatever, and they just let the drum sitting right there, that's disrespectful of that drum. This thing is so sacred in that heartbeat arena that I've actually seen twice over 30 years. Where you get some boneheads in a drum group and they leave the drum alone or they mistreat it, an elder will come and claim that drum from them. And it will absolutely be on because they are mistreating that drum They don't deserve it. It'll be done. It's very, very rare to see, but I've seen it twice over 30 years.
Wow.
But typically, like these flats here. So, this dude. What I love is even the drum frame, the frame right here, the stand, excuse me, has a story. This is rebuilt. This is reclaimed wood from the Elder Morongo Reservation.
Oh, cool.
Every piece of this thing's got a story to it. So that's the sound of the beast right now. It's a little dry. I'm not getting a lot of reverb to it, but because I got to replace some of those pads in the stand.
So what kind of hide? What kind of rawhide is on that drum?
Buffalo rawhide.
Buffalo. Okay.
It's a big boy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. When you have the drum when it's flat, some of the protocol around this that's not known by a lot of people is that when everybody's sitting around it, when you start a session, you put a little tobacco, some sage, and wheatgrass on the drum, and you do an opening prayer. Not every drum group does this, but this is what I do. Well, that's what I do. Is you always open a session with the drum because this is church right here. When you open and close the session with a prayer. It could be a guest can do it or whatnot. And even when you see like somebody puts money down on a drummer, does request a drummer to powwow gathering, to ask them to sing a song, a healing song or whatnot, or there's a prayer done on the drum, you will actually see where the drummers will put their hand on the drum as for the prayer, and other people will put their hands on their shoulders to feel that energy coming out. They know that get a direct connection to that drum and the prayer and that power. Really, really amazing stuff to see and experience. Just experience and be in that. Typically, women. I addressed this earlier, but typically, especially, not so much northern. It's very different. It's not fall, but you mainly see this in southern style drums, drum groups. That women are not allowed to touch the drum, and it's not out of chauvinism. It's out of respect because women have the power to give life. It is too powerful and incompatible with the powwow drum. I've actually seen where women will come over and accidentally touch a drum or something like that, or unintentionally touch it, and the lead singer in the drum group loses their voice. That kind of stuff, I've seen it many times. Things parallel to that. And so women don't typically sing on the drum. On some northern drums, you will see all women singers. You may see some women singing on it with mixed men. That's their tribe and their family's choice. But the old way, by and large, we'll see women don't typically sing on the drum. Though we've seen full women, all women northern drums. That is rare, and I don't have an opinion on that part. Southern drums tend to be a bit more conservative. So when you actually sit around the drum, if there's drumsticks handed out, and I've got some sitting in a bag over here, it's typically handed out in a clockwise fashion. If somebody wants to pass something to somebody else, a sage bundle or whatnot, it's passed clockwise around the drum. It's never handed over the drum. It's considered rude to the drum. Especially when you're sitting there and you say you got a drink in your hand, you don't sit it on the drum. This is not a table. This is a living being right here. And so those little protocols like that, you don't cuss around the drum. You don't act inappropriate around the drum and stuff like that. So you got to behave yourself. You're in church right here, and you're representing when you're sitting around this, especially when you're a singer. So those are some of the traditions on that one. You got any questions so far?
No, this is all really great information.
Yeah. So this is there's northern style drums, southern style drums, some in between. Northern drums have a big boom. Southern drums may have a lot of reverb. I always think northern, it's got a lot of reverb, but I like a drum where you could stick your hand face into it and say your name and hear the reverb 3 seconds later. I love that. So this is my baby. I've got another drum right here. There's another style, but I think we've gone over enough with the powwow drum right here. So I talk a little about the songs or a little like that.
Well, yeah. I think a lot of people don't know very much about the powwow drum. That's why I think this is kind of a cool, discussion to have.
Yeah. So typically, even the drumsticks will be northern or southern style. I actually don't know a heck of a lot about southern. I'm just a northern guy, but most of my sticks for some reason are southern. But you'll have shorter sticks like this. This one's kind of rough shape. It's got a lot of electrical tape on it. But you'll have a lot of shorter drumsticks like this one compared to, say, a southern drumstick. Like how much longer one is to the other.
Yeah.
On both ones, because the northern drums tend to be very quick beats, quick singing, so the sticks are shorter, so they can do quicker. While southern, when they do their social songs, will be more of a longer beat like that. And there's exceptions to that. You can get a contest song with southern contest songs; those guys can book it whale, quick drum beats. Northern drums, it's late here, so I'm not going to. I'll tap a little bit, but. Northern songs tend to have that high falsetto, like the high falsetto. They'll start with that. Southern singing tends to be more guttural, like that kind of tone. When you start a song, you typically have the lead singer. You've always got like lead singer and a drum keeper. Drum keeper, as what the name implies. Lead singer, as the name implies. And you can have a lead song, lead to it, and that lead will sing once, and then everybody else will join in, following that lead, and then they go into the body of the song, and they'll repeat it twice, and that's called. When they repeat it twice, it's called a push-up, and then the lead singer will take over and sing, and that's how the general song structure goes. So when you hear like an MC announce, "Hey, such and such drum, let's have 4 push-ups," that's what they mean 4 times through that song on that one. It's the same. It's the same structure for southern drums also, and it's for hand drums. It's the same structure. And shall I talk about hand drums a little bit?
Yeah, let's talk about hand drums.
Let me get a hand drum. Okay, this happens to be one of the hand drums that we'll be making on the class on the 21st. And this is the style right here. Nice.
Is that a 15-inch?
Huh?
Is that a 15-inch?
Yeah.
Okay, it just looks small on the. It looks small, but it's actually kind of large.
Gotcha. Well, it looks smaller to me right there because my phone screen's like this big. But this is the hand drum right here. Roughly the same structure, the same style depending on your nation, plan, but generally POW style hand drums will have the same song structure. Will follow the same thing with the lead, with vocable lead. Vocals are just sounds, and then there could be words in there. There's a lot of hand drum songs that have English words in it. Indian car, that's a really famous one. And hey, I'm squatting here because I got the camera and I got to get this in the background, and it's just a weird angle. But the hand drums are tending to be more personal. They're looser. The rules are looser than with the powwow drum. And women can, of course, have these and sing. For a while, it was very famous with White Rose Singers out of Sherman Indian High School. They came in and they performed a lot of different powwows. They actually performed at a couple of rodeos I was on the committee with. They came in and sang, and they did great. It was mixed nation, but they sang a lot of Apache songs, some songs represented by their people, some Chumash songs. And they would sing that. And typically, like hand drum songs, hand drummers these days, and like I'm a Northern Cree nut, I love their hand drum songs. You can have a shorter drumstick like this one. This one's ancient. And the beadwork's totally coming off. I need to redo it. But you just have like a cool beat right here. They might sing. Navajos will have it like an even beat. A lot of tribes. Hand drum songs you see on the POWs today will have what's called a double beat like that when they sing. Or like that. And I could go into tons of detail. You can stick your finger right here and get that cool sound like that. And they'll sing it. And some of these, like the hand drum songs, are said to like woo young women, or you woo the ladies. You sing romance songs on here. And if you Google here on YouTube and just type in Native American hand drum songs, you'll see some that are, let's go over the ladies. I'll get your girlfriend. So I show you it's Mr. Right there, and the guy's trying to do that. And, well, let's just say I've tried it, and I ain't married yet, but it works for most people.
Well, James, guess what? It's already 1 hour, so we have about 10 minutes to wrap up.
Gotcha. I'll wrap this up, but I think I gave it. This is the one that gets most of the attention because of that, but the hand drums again are there, but it's still treated as the heartbeat. It's still treated as a living being. And even hand drums can have special stories to it. I've got the river drum sitting right over here, the one I made in the Colorado River last Utah.
Show us that one. Show us that one really quickly.
Okay. Let me put this away.
Tell us a little bit about that one.
All right. This is one of those ones that got an amazing background. But when I was on the river up in Utah, my Green River trip last September, that was kind of a recovery trip. It had only been 2 months since I had the stroke. And I said, if I can do this trip, I'm going to make a drum. And I did. And so we're in Canada's National Park. I am at the headwaters of what's still the wild and free-flowing Colorado River. And I was hauling the drum hoop and rawhide with me for 2 weeks on this trip. And then finally, we're on our last day. And I broke out the rawhide. I soaked it in a mesh bag in the river.
So it's actually made with Colorado River water.
It was made in the still wild and free-flowing Colorado River. So it soaked it for a few hours, got it out, and I made it right there in camp. And that's the drum I made. It's called the River Drum. And just to make sure that this is a drum made by river runners on a trip, it's even called a 1-inch NRS strap as the hanger right here, which is, if you're river runners, you know NRS. And even the painting on here, this is the Green River, the Colorado confluence coming together, and this is the river going down into Cataract Canyon. That's where we made, that's only a couple miles down from that confluence. That's where we made it, a place called Spanish Bottom. You can see the canoe right there, the kayak, it's both trip. And this is done with a very natural paint called a ballpoint pen I borrowed, and I painted this when I was still down there. This is called a ballpoint pen I borrowed from a friend of mine named Carrie Fife.
Yeah,
the outline was called a Sharpie I had in my dry box. And this paint right here is a combination of mud from the river and powdered root beer mix. And that's the fancy paint on this.
You know what? Sometimes you do with what you have.
Well, somebody said you should paint the face, and I went, oh yeah. And all of a sudden I'm grabbing, I applied the paint with a stick from an arrowweed bush and some willow as my paintbrush, going, and then putting powdered root beer on my finger and licking it and spitting on it to mix the go, and I'd wrap it on the stick and get that shading effect on there. And using your natural resources and what you brought camping with powdered drink mix. Yeah. Sure worked.
It hasn't come off yet.
Oh heck no. So it's on there good. This is the River Drum. This is a amazing piece I got to sing for some people with it this weekend on my river trip. So let me put this away. Let me stand the drum up on its side, put a blanket over it, because when we get done recording, of course, putting the beast away. And I've actually got 3 other drums sitting over here you can't see in the camera. So let me take care of this real fast.
Okay. So James, you want me to remove your video?
Yeah, just let me put this away in my house. We're safe. Obviously, I can walk away from it right now. And let me walk back to the office.
So everyone, I just want to remind you that, here, let me remove this video really quick. So I just want to remind you, we do have room in the class coming up on January 21st. Let me show you our page again so you can see it. I'm going to share how to do it again, because I do want you guys to be able to sign up for the class online. You can do that 24/7. The class is obviously on January 21st, so you can do it up until January 15th. If you do find that you need to sign up or try to sign up afterwards, call us. Call our store. We're there Monday through Saturday.
So if I wanted to join the class, I should call you.
If you realize or you've seen this video after January 15th, you need to call us, because we can let you know if we have an extra drum kit. Okay, so you're going to go to dancingbearindiantrader.com, click visit our store online. Then you're going to go to classes and calendar, go down to classes and click it. I don't know why I did that. And then you're going to scroll down to where it says Elk Rawhide Drum Making Class. It's $152.50. That includes the drum kit and the class fee. So you will leave with the drum for $152.50. If you were to buy this drum pre-made, it's going to cost you $170 plus. So you basically are saving the fees. Okay, so right now, January 21st, 2023, the session is 8 a.m. Okay, so there's only one session starting at 8 a.m. You add and you have your attendees, you put your name, and if you have 2 people going with you, change it to 2 and put your names. Okay, then click add to cart. When you go to add, when you view your cart, you will see your amount of people that are in the class, and you can check out via our credit card processing or PayPal. If you have any issues, you can always call us and we'll help you walk through it. Okay. So definitely, we would love to have you join our class. You'll leave with a drum that is made. It's a great class. It's really a lot of fun. A lot of people that have made them. We actually have people that are coming back probably like the 3rd or 4th or 5th time.
Seriously, we do. We have people that are like, we will see every year that just keep on taking the class over again.
They just take the class again, and then they make the drum, and then they give it away, or they do whatnot, and it's their time to spend time together. Yeah.
If you think you're too far away to do the class, we've had people fly down from San Francisco just to do the class.
Yes.
That surprised us when they told us, and we're like, "Oh, you're awesome."
Yeah. So it's pretty awesome. I mean, I really do recommend this experience. It's very interesting. A lot of people just don't even, this isn't even something that's even remotely on someone's like radar of like things that they can still do. I mean, it's just a very cool process.
Yeah. And when you come to the class, you also get to compliment my bow tie. Savea will not be formal enough. The professor you'll recognize. Well, President Admiral General with my bow tie. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is also part of the traditional regalia for making drum making. No, it's not. I just made that up. No, next time I dance at a powwow, I'm going to incorporate the bow tie in the regalia just to see what happens.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Well, if you can do a cowboy hat, why not a bow tie?
Hey, guess what, James? It's getting really late. I'm really tired. Are you getting tired?
Yes. I'm probably going to make up something again like Waterlooless Water Park.
So next week we are going to we're pushing back our unicorn show to the following weekend. So that's going to be
the 20th.
The 20th, yes. The day before the drum class, we will have, actually, we probably will be doing that show side by side.
Oh, that's right. You want me to come down on Friday night?
Yeah, James is going to come out. James is going to come out a day early, and so he'll be here in the morning. Would not have to drive like at the
2 hours.
At the crack of dawn.
It's only 2 hours or
leave when it's dark.
Yeah, pretty much. But we may be side by side, folks, and if that happens, I got to watch for the pincher bug.
I know. I have to look into how to prevent them because I cannot tell you. Since we've lived here since July, I have seen more pincher bugs in my house than I have ever seen at any home. It's just weird. I don't know. Maybe we are doing something. Maybe we need to spray the perimeter or something. I don't know.
I don't know. At least don't turn on your microwave. Let that radiation come out, and then like irradiate and mutate those pincher bugs. Next thing you know, you got Godzilla pincher bug.
Yeah,
you'll be like with your Buchanan Raider or fly swatter going, this is not going to work.
It's really funny. Mochi is a pincher bug hunter. He is fully a pincher bug hunter. Like all of a sudden he starts focusing on something and he's like scratching at it. It's the funniest thing. And I'm like, get it. And he actually spit it out a couple times because I think it bit his tongue.
Oh geez. I'm trying not to sneeze. Try not to sneeze. It won't go well. Okay.
Just sneeze.
So next week, I'm trying not to. All right, folks. Next week, unicorns, the culture, the history, and media, our personal collection. I just happen to have one sitting right here on my desk, as I always do, with the price tag still on. It's like Mini Pearl and Hee-Haw. The manliness, the masculinity, the awesomeness and the girl part 2 of Unicorns.
Yes. All right. Well, we enjoy talking with you guys. Thank you for joining us, and we are outie.
Yes, as soon as I find the closing. All right, folks, this has been another episode of Late Night Craft Talk. We'll see you next week. Remember, unicorns. And come on, thingy. Come on.
We're gonna
And there we go.
We've been sitting here for an hour. You need to dance.
Go jump. Jump back to the- boot. Aw, ain't he cute? Good night, folks.